Welcome to the Barrel Buddies.
Howdy, y'all.
How's it going, everyone?
Glad you joined us tonight.
I'm James.
And I'm BJ.
Glad to have you here. While we have an interesting show tonight.
It's different. We're taking a small turn. Because one of the promises we made was that we weren't just going to stick to whiskeys and bourbons, although that's probably like 99% of our shows.
Yeah.
But we are exploring a little barrel-aged goodness. And so tonight, we're going to talk about wines, but most importantly, we're going to talk about tannins. And then, of course, what are we going to do? We're going to bring that right back to whiskey. But we thought we'd bring this. I wanted to bring something here to all of you, and of course to us, to bring in a little wines, and we're going to do a little blind tasting tonight. And I'm not going to tell anybody too much about what we've got. We'll do a big reveal here, but this is a little Barrel Buddies short, and we hope you'll enjoy. So we're going to start off with number one, and I chose specifically.
Well, let's backtrack a little bit.
Okay.
So maybe quick story about the wines, or do we want to do the tasting
We're
first?
taste test,
Okay,
and then we'll
fair enough.
We'll talk some vino
All right.
here in a minute.
And I have no idea what these are, by the way. I have no clue.
James, would you say that you're an avid wine drinker?
Absolutely not.
I would say I am.
Okay, great.
I will tell you that all three of these are Cabernets, Cabernet Sauvignon, which means they come from the Cabernet Sauvignon grape. They're a big, full-bodied wine, okay? But that doesn't necessarily mean a whole lot. Treatment, aging process, just like in whiskey, changes a lot about what's going on. We're going to talk about why that is. So let's start here with numero uno.
Number one is that, yep.
So
right.
just like with tasting our whiskey, we're going to give it a little swirl.
Okay.
Give it a little air.
Yeah.
Okay. Take a little bit of the nose. Tell me what you
Why
smell
are you
there.
laughing? I don't know what's so funny about this.
Oh, well, we're gonna tell you here in a minute.
I'm not. So to me, and this is from a whiskey, bourbon, Scotch background. This one is like it seems very flat to me. Like flat is in I don't get a lot, and it doesn't smell that it's going to taste complex.
Right.
Like
it seems very straightforward. It's like it smells like wine. Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to say that it smells like wine. It just smells like old grape juice, like in a not sweet in a bad way,
Okay.
like
Yeah,
rancid.
Give it a taste.
All right.
Oh, there it is.
This is surprising. So, from the smell, I was not expecting this to taste as good as it. It tastes better than it smells.
But it's got that. So, tell you a little bit about what we're doing. We're talking about tannins tonight. Tannins. You've probably heard this phrase a lot. Oh, it's got a high tannin content or a low tannin content.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard that?
Well, it applies, and of course, most people relate tannins to whiskey, but in the whiskey world, you get it too. Sorry, to wine. I
Yeah.
totally
You
derped
relate
on
it to
that.
wine.
Yeah.
But it is in the whiskey world as well.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Patrick Curry says wine, nice.
Nice, yeah.
Welcome, Patrick.
we're doing a little vino tonight, Patrick. A little quick here. So tannins, where does this come from? It actually comes from a Greek word which meant for the tanner, like tanning hides. And what did they use to help tan hides? They used oak. They would use powdered oak to help tan hides. So the first chemical compound that they were using to really tan and preserve hide was oak or acorns. And so, of course, you're going to get tannins in your wine and in your whiskey because what is it aged in?
Oak barrels.
Exactly. And so, while this means when you get this high tannin content, is people will tell you, oh, it's dry. That's another thing you hear. Oh, it's dry. And you're like, it's wet. How is it dry? It's because of did you notice that feeling in your mouth right away?
Yeah.
Kind of puckered.
Yep.
You're like, ooh, it's dry.
So this one is super mellow. Like this is not what I expected. Just knowing what we have.
Take a big swig. I want you to take a really
lemonade.
big
Hello
swig.
there. A big swig.
Take a big swig. Hold it in your mouth for a couple of seconds, then swallow. You're gonna feel those tannins in your mouth.
Oh, there it is. That
Right?
dryness, right?
Feel that
yeah.
dryness?
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
high tannin wine.
Wow. Wow. This isn't bad at all. Okay.
Okay. All right.
This makes me hopeful because I think one of these is going to be really bad. But maybe I'll be surprised because I have not had any of these.
I think you're going to be surprised. I think you're going to be surprised all the way around.
All
You ready to move on to number 2?
Now we're ready to move on to number 2. Let me have a little water here.
Yeah, cleanse the palate out a little bit. Lemonade.
Just saying hi.
233. Hello.
Okay.
All right, number 2.
Really quick though, some people are like, "What is with this glassware?" I'm sure. So my apologies.
Or you want to say something?
Not yet, but well, I mean, I'm in the process of moving to our audience, like anyone cares. But with that being said, all of my glassware is boxed up. So the the very small handful of glassware I did have out, 2 wine glasses. I just broke one before the show. It was one of my favorites.
Oh, it's a sad day.
Very unfortunate. And now we're here. So, pardon the glassware.
Okay.
Number 2.
Number 2. in the superstition meter.
So, yes, in the little...
What do you notice a little different about this?
A lot darker. This
Much
looks
darker.
much darker. This is almost like... It's like this red, dark blood red color I'm getting out of that.
Yeah, really dark.
Wow.
Really dark. It's harder to oxygenate this one, so you got to give it a little bit of a swirl.
Yeah, this one...
What are you thinking? Ooh, oaky nose. I mean...
Yeah, it's super oaky, but I'm getting
Wow.
this weird, like... And I don't know if this is even a wine descriptor. I'm getting, like, sulfur.
So, fun fact. I love that you brought this up. Tannins... So, tannins are a really pivotal thing because sulfites, which give a sulfur flavor and smell, tannins counteract that, which is part of a rotting and fermentation process.
Got it.
So tannins are not just something that naturally occurs as part of this barrel aging process, but it helps to take away that sulfuric smell and flavor.
But then that's not a good thing, though, that I'm
The
smelling.
sulfites are not a good thing.
Okay.
Right? But again, natural process. It can be,
Yes,
right? It can
yes.
be. You want natural flavor,
Yes.
so it can be good.
Okay, here we go. Cheers, everyone. This one, it's very just quick. Like it's really,
Yeah.
like I don't get much. There's no zero aftertaste.
No linger. Okay. And for those of you that are tuned in, again, I know you probably tuned in for whiskey. Hang with us.
Hang with us.
There's a point here.
Tannins.
Tannins. Tannins.
This is weird. It's just like quick. Like I would make a sangria with this. Like this needs something else. Like it's not a. This has to be the cheap one.
Could he be right?
I don't know. I like
Make
if
a
you got a
sangria
cheap
with
shitty one, this is it. I feel already.
Okay.
So we'll see.
That's what you're going to claim. All right. I can tell you I'm done with this one already. There's no going back to this. As I take another sip. Functioning alcohol.
You got to do that one big one, like you said. Like it's
Definitely not as many tannins as in this.
That first one, this like, pillowy and like the wonderful aftertaste, and I kept going back to it.
I can't wait for the review.
And then this one, this number 2, is like, I don't know. I want to put it in a sangria or something. Like I want to make it. I don't want to drink that. And if it was anything over $20 a bottle, I'd be very upset.
Okay.
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 All right.
All right. Last but not least,
Number 3.
cleanse the palate. We're gonna go here for number 3.
All right. Like big pour, big glass.
Big glass.
Hopefully this is the
Big
pricey
pour.
one. Cheers. I don't know if you can tell out there. I'm trying to get something, a read off of BJ, to where he can try to maybe give a clue as to what we're drinking here. I have no clue. I have no idea what we're drinking.
Great nose. Great nose. Shout out to Chris Senior. You know who you are. I'm gonna just tell you, Old World. Patrick, you'll know what that is too. Old World. Even though it comes from a New World winery.
It's
You get that? You get those tannins.
yeah, and
Right? You can feel it. Little prickle. So when we talk about tannins and that dryness, probably the better way to describe that to you, the viewer, is when you drink wine, you feel that prickle in your cheeks, in the back of your mouth, and on your tongue. It's that prickle. That's like almost like when you get a dry mouth. That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about here. What do you think?
So, I love the mouthfeel. Like it's got a really good taste, and
Velvety.
it really like lingers. But I don't. And maybe let me get into it a little bit more. I'm not getting a lot of flavor, but maybe that's just me. Maybe.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Interesting.
like it seemed like the other two, right off the bat, I had like something like that. That one, unfortunately, was the sulfur, and this one, I really liked this one actually.
Interesting. Okay, listen, wine like whiskey is all about what you like.
So far, but I want to. Obviously, we're not.
Yeah, that's fine. So here's what I'm getting out of this. Real velvety mouthfeel, big full-bodied wine. All that means is it's big flavor. It coats the whole mouth, and I think of it like as a heady flavor, right? I'm getting fig, like a fig Newton, figgy, and even maybe some raspberries and even some raisins, right? Which makes sense here. Grapes, but it's that dried fruit, sun-dried fruit. You get those sweet raspberries, like a raspberry jam, which hides in the background. I think it's much more prevalent, like dried fig.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I'm not getting a lot of that.
Okay.
I definitely get berry. I get like a raspberry, like a dark, maybe blackberry, boysenberry.
All right, I want you to go back to number one now.
Okay. Yeah. I'm
So
actually.
of all the wines,
Yes.
number one has the most tannins. So tannins, again, we talked about it coming from the oak. Technically, it's oak tea. I mean, it's just transfer of oak. When it comes to your whiskeys, that's why a lot of people, and it's a lot of the stuff that I read this week, you don't really want a bourbon or a whiskey that is sat in a barrel for more than 12 years, because at that point, you might as well be sucking on a piece of the barrel.
Yeah.
I mean, you've lost everything to that barrel.
Well, and back, and to talk a little bit about oaked whiskeys, you have a lot of people that say, oh, I want something that, well, not to say a lot of people, but a lot of distillers have basically started double charring their barrels. So what they do is they take the fresh oak, and part of the process of making whiskey is they will char that inside of the barrel. Alcohol goes inside it, and then it sits, pulls that flavor from the char. That's where you get that like caramelization. You get the color from that char. But distillers have gotten more creative recently, where they've actually made divots inside the barrel where it adds more surface area, so you get even more of a oak taste.
To quote a guy out of Del Dodo,
Okay.
shout out to Del Dodo, and any of you that have been to Napa, Del Dodo, right? And if you haven't, go there. They're juicing the juice. It's almost unfair.
Okay. Got it.
Zing! All right, you ready for the reveal?
Ready for the reveal.
Viewers, are you ready?
Yeah. So, do you want to start at number one?
Number one, James, you said it, your favorite.
I really
right?
liked it. I really liked it.
Number one, and coming in at James's favorite.
I'm looking at the bottle, you guys.
It is the Charles Shaw 2019 Organic California Cabernet Sauvignon.
Okay. It's organic, so that means it's got to be good.
And if you know anything about Charles Shaw, that is $2 chuck. But since it's organic, it's $4 chuck. It's $3.99 at your local Trader Joe's. But I'm going to tell you, I agree. I thought it was real good.
Okay. All right. Am I right?
really
It's
tasty.
solid.
I think this is totally a wine I would drink as an everyday drink.
Yeah.
It's great. Really, really
Oh
good.
yeah. Like I'm pouring myself some more.
Help yourself, please. Yeah, it was very tasty. And I think that it's going to go really well, actually, with our whiskey flavor later on this evening.
Yeah,
I think that's going to be tasty good.
Yeah.
So coming in, our number one blind taster there is the Charles Shaw Organic California Cabernet. That's how they know.
All right.
2019 vintage. It's very fun, dude. All right, number 2.
Number 2. Drum roll.
$2 Chuck.
Ah, the original dog shit. I knew it. Yeah, it's bad, guys.
It's pretty rough. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. Yeah, I didn't like that at all.
I don't want to go back to
I
it.
haven't had Charles Shaw in a while. But yeah, not my favorite. And when you said I'd make sangria out of it, I was like, that's probably what I'd do with this too. That's pretty good.
It's just very like one-sided. There's no complexity whatsoever. It's just like alcohol grape juice.
I don't even think it tastes like alcohol. You're right. It's flat. I don't think it tastes like anything.
Yeah, it's strange and it's not good.
It's wine.
Yeah, that's like grandma's wine. You know, she's waiting in line at 7:30 with a sack of nickels at the Total Wine to go buy a bottle of $2 Chuck.
All right, and number 3,
Trader Joe's.
My personal favorite.
Yes.
And I'm going to tell you, this is as I shared with you earlier, during the pre-show here. This wine is something that, listen, viewers, ladies and gentlemen, you got to stop and bring a bottle of wine to somebody's dinner, a party. You got to have a nice bottle at your house for people to drink, and you want to put something out there that's nice. But you're like, I don't know what's nice. I don't know anything. I'm going to tell you right now, this is the bottle. Number 3 is the Coppola Claret. And when you see it in the store, it's got a gold net around it, like a metal netting.
Okay.
The Coppola Claret, it is a Cabernet, but this is a solid Cabernet.
Yeah.
Your price point's going to be anywhere from, $12 to $18. And it's solid. I mean, you're going to make everybody happy.
There you go.
This is the pick right here. This is really good. My personal favorite of the 3. I picked it because I'm super familiar with this. I think it's tasty. And again, I think that, as you said, good mouthfeel, excellent flavor, and the more that this oxygenates, the more we let this sit out, the more this is going to develop. It's not overly complex, super approachable. Again, approachable price, approachable palate. You're going to love it.
What did we say price point was on that guy?
You're going to find this, the lowest I've ever purchased it for was like $12, and the most I've ever paid for it was $18.
Very affordable.
Super
All of
affordable.
these.
We dropped them over the weekend. So for those of you joining us live this week, thank you. That's fantastic. We are doing the live shows so that we can interact with you, the viewer, and our fans. We really love that. We really value that. But for those of you out there that can't, we're going to be doing some changes. So thanks again. Thank you so much.
Really quick, lemonade.
Pull this here.
Yeah, you pull that. Lemonade, wine, Coppola, or Charles Shaw. Go to Trader Joe's if you have a Trader Joe's near you for the Charles Shaw. But the Coppola, the Claret, any grocery store has this, and it's got that gold mesh around the bottle. Under $20. Easy. Like you're at a party and someone says bring a bottle of wine, or you don't know what to bring. You're going to eat dinner somewhere. Get one of those.